The baseball team welcomed 9 new student athletes. We'll tell you about them. Bronx basketball on the hard court at TCU. We'll show you how they did. And we say goodbye to a treasured member of the UTPA Athletics family. This is Bronc Country.
This is Bronc Baseball Recruiting.
Welcome to Bronc Country. I'm Jonah Goldberg. Coach Mantrana unable to contain his excitement, having signed 9 talented student athletes for the 2014-15 season and also having them featured right here on Bronc Country. But you know what they say, ladies first. And UTPA women's basketball adds 5'7" guard Stephanie Onyeje of Pflugerville to a recruiting class that already includes 6'3" center Laura Van Tilburg of Weslaco. Onyeje is off to a strong start this season, averaging 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 steals per game, while shooting 49% from the field and 37% from behind the arc. She earned MVP honors at the Austin Bowie Tournament and all-tournament team honors at the Pflugerville Tournament.
She is a 1-2 combo guard, can play the 1, play the 2, but lightning in a jar. Extremely fast, extremely athletic. She's long. Averaging nearly 5 steals a game, and we're very excited about the defensive presence that she can make on our team next year.
On to baseball, with 9 new recruits joining the squad, including right-handed pitcher Parker Gallegos, infielder Isaac Gonzalez, right-handed pitcher George Lamb, right-handed pitcher Jake Luce, infielder Matthew Marino, infielder catcher Jacob Roberts, right-handed pitcher Brandon San Nicolas, outfielder Alexis Torres, and right-handed pitcher Thomas Wilson.
This recruiting class, Jonah, is a great combination of talented freshmen and talented junior college guys. We brought in 5 freshmen and 4 junior college players. All of them wanted to be Bronx from the very beginning. All 9 will contribute to our success on the field and in the classroom, and they will all continue to bring about the high standards and the expectations that we're accustomed to.
Parker Gallegos comes to the Bronx from Chandler Gilbert Community College in his hometown of Gilbert, Arizona, where as a freshman, he went 4-4 with a 4.02 ERA. He pitched 63 innings over 12 starts, striking out 35 while allowing just 7 extra base hits, none of which left the park.
Also saw him in Arizona. Really quick movements with his delivery, which hitters don't like that. Hitters like slow, deliberate pitchers so they can really whack. Parker is quick with everything from the beginning to the time the ball comes at you. He's very quick, which makes hitters very, very uncomfortable. Has a tremendous 12-6 breaking ball. I mean, that's going to be an out pitch. You don't see that anymore. That's old school breaking ball. A lot of the time now the breaking balls are, basically 1 to 7 or 2 to 6. But he's got a 12-6. It just drops off the table. He also is about 86, 88 with the fastball. So with Parker, we're looking for him again to come in, compete for a spot as a junior college transfer in the WAC conference, and we're expecting for him to give us a lot of innings.
Isaac Gonzalez comes to the Bronx from Valley Vista High School in Surprise, Arizona, where, as a junior, he had a triple slash line of 374, 472, 450. In 33 games, Gonzalez knocked in 36 runs and scored 31 times. He also stole 11 bases while primarily playing shortstop.
Another good, talented high school player, middle infielder, outstanding hands. His feet work really, really well. And he has a very strong and accurate arm. I saw him also in Arizona. And at the time, we really didn't know whether we wanted to bring in another middle infielder or maybe possibly another pitcher. But after seeing him a couple times, and it's funny how it worked out, I was there to see somebody else, a pitcher, and I saw him the first time. I was there to see another guy from another team, and they played against him. And everything they hit to him, I mean, he just made every play, and he made it look simple. So, again, very good hands, great feet, strong, accurate arm, excellent defender. He can play Division I baseball right now.
George Lamb comes to the Bronx from Desert Ridge High School in Mesa, Arizona, where he made 3 starts as a junior, going 2-1 with a 4.20 ERA.
Another very talented right-handed pitcher from the high school ranks. I saw him over in Arizona, and I was impressed with his stuff. Right now, he'll sit 87, 89. Really good rhythm, good tempo with his delivery. Has a 3/4 arm slot, good secondary pitch. He has thighs like a running back, which you like to see in your pictures. And he's got a very, very bright future for us here at Pan Am.
The 6'1", 170-pound Jake Luce comes to the Bronx from Waxahachie High School, where he has seen his velocity increase over the last year, going from 82-83 to 88-89 entering his senior season.
You know what? He's one of the freshmen that we're bringing in. He's going to be an outstanding pitcher for us. He's got really good stuff. He's polished, strong mental makeup, and we're expecting for him to compete from the very beginning.
Matthew Marino comes to the Bronx from Corpus Christi Ray, where, as a junior, he hit .447 with a .500 on base and .744 slugging percentage. He slugged 3 home runs to go with 9 doubles and 5 triples in 94 at-bats, while driving in 27 runs and scoring 29 times. He was 15 for 17 in stolen base attempts. Marino also saw time on the mound, appearing in 6 games and recording 3 wins, while striking out 16 in just 12 innings.
Matt Marino, very talented. He was rated the number 2 wide receiver down here in South Texas. Also plays football. He transferred over, now he's the team's quarterback this year. Was hurt a little bit in the fall, making a cut, running. Nothing serious, it was just his quad, he sat out a little bit. But very, very talented and very versatile. Really has good strength for a high school player coming out. I mean, he's strong, he's able to drive the ball in the gaps with extra bases. And as I said, he's very versatile. So he's one of the guys that you need on a team to be successful, where you can put him in different positions and he'll be able to play and help us win.
Jacob Roberts is slated to play his sophomore season at Cisco Junior College after spending his freshman season at Coastal Carolina. He was a 3-year starter at Plainfield South High School in Illinois and ranks among the school's career leaders in home runs, RBI, runs scored, hits, and stolen bases. He hit .422 with a Southwest Prairie Conference leading 11 doubles, 24 RBI, and 28 runs scored as a junior. Roberts hit .442 as a sophomore.
An outstanding sign for us. He's got some Division I experience, played at Coastal Carolina, then went to a junior college, and now we're getting him. Again, meets our needs as far as a middle of the lineup hitter with Alexis. Really good line drive hitter, can hit the ball in the gaps, a lot of doubles. Excellent hands, was a shortstop all throughout his career. He's transferred now, he's catching, he's behind the plate. But he's a guy that you can keep in the lineup because he can catch, he can play short, he can play second. And we expect Jay to be one of the team leaders next year. Again, he has Division I experience, outstanding athlete, outstanding student, outstanding person. So we're looking for his leadership and for him to hit in the middle of the lineup for us next year.
Brandon San Nicolas comes to the Bronx from Cabot College, where, as a freshman, he went 2-0. In 12 games, San Nicolas pitched 16 innings, striking out 13.
He is a tall 6'4" junior college pitcher with a very good arm, very live arm, good feel for his secondary pitches. His pitching IQ is just off the charts. I mean, understands what he needs to do, what he wants to do to the hitter, where he wants to locate. And he's one of the guys that we're bringing in, and we expect for him to be one of our weekend guys in the WAC.
Alexis Torres comes to the Bronx from New Mexico Junior College, where, as a freshman, he hit .258. In 25 games, 13 starts, Torres hit a home run, 2 doubles, and 1 triple, while driving in 6 runs, scoring 10 times, and stealing 3 bases.
Tremendous athlete. Also saw him in Arizona. Can really swing the bat. Our needs for next year, Jonah, we need a couple of middle of the lineup bats to compete in the WAC. And Alexis definitely fits that mold. Really quick bat, very good pop, and he's also a plus defender with a very strong arm. And he runs about a 6'7", 6'8", 60. So he's a tremendous athlete. He can do it all.
Thomas Wilson comes to the Bronx from O'Connor High School in Hill Otis, just outside San Antonio, where he went 1-1 with a save and a .420 ERA as a junior. In 5 games, Wilson pitched 10 innings, striking out 16 while scattering 10 singles and 1 double.
Another high ceiling young arm. He's coming to us out of high school. He's very good mechanics, good downhill tilt. Can really throw it, has a very live arm. Once we put him in our weight program and he gains a few pounds, he's going to throw really, really hard. Because if you see him, you might kind of hold him down in case of a strong wind. But once he fills out, we are really expecting really, really big things from Tommy.
Bronx men's and women's basketball in the Metroplex to face TCU. Coming up on Bronc Country, highlights and post-game reaction from the games.
Madness is calling. the 2014 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. March 12th through the 15th at Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. 16 teams battle through the brackets on their way to the big dance. Be there to see who will go home the big winner.
Ticket packages on sale now at UTPABronx.com. This commercial brought to you by Lax Furniture, an official sponsor of the University of Texas Pan American Intercollegiate Athletics. Both UTPA basketball teams took a little time off to study for and pass their final exams. Now that exams are over, however, the Broncs are back on the hard court. Both basketball teams facing off against TCU at Daniel Meyer Coliseum. We pick it up early in the second half, game tied at 25. And look at the move by Javon Farrell. Gives the Broncs the lead at 27-25. Horned Frogs scored the next 5 points to take the lead, but here come the Broncs. Farrell finds Shaq Hines sneaking behind the defense. Broncs within 30-29. 13 minutes to go. Broncs still down one. Not anymore. Josh Cleveland puts the Broncs up 33-32. Next Broncs possession, we're back to Farrell. The Broncs take their first 2-possession lead of the game. It's 36-32. Horned Frogs score in the next 6. Cleveland underneath, doesn't have an angle, but finds Hines in the paint, ties the game at 38, but the Horned Frogs close the game on a 17-3 run to win 57-48. It was one of those games, 10 lead changes, 12 ties. Hines led the Broncs in scoring for the first time this season with 12 points. Also led the Broncs in rebounding for the 7th time with 7. Justin Leathers also in double figures with 10 points.
We competed for a while and just couldn't finish it out. Had a chance, had a nice lead, had a couple of calls not go our way and a couple plays we didn't make, but kids were out there trying, working at it.
Here's a look at the WAC non-conference standings. The Broncs didn't have the only near miss on Sunday, with Chicago State falling at DePaul in overtime and Bakersfield getting edged by USC. The Broncs are back in action on Wednesday at SMU.
Big game, excellent team, talented team, far more talented than TCU, I believe, right now. But going to be a tough one for us, too. Got to go out and make the right plays.
An hour after the men finished up, the women took the court. The game was close early. Kaylin Boyd picks up the steal and comes coast to coast for a layup. Scored the Broncs' first 8 points. It's 11-8 Horned Frogs. Horned Frogs extend their lead to 6, but Brittany Bush with the layup to bring the Broncs within 14-10. Move ahead to the second half. TCU pulling away, but Bush doing everything she can to keep the Broncs close. Connects from the baseline there. Laquita Garner in on the action, hits the jumper. Bush along the baseline, banks it in. And then Shazay Wright and Sherelle Price with threes, but the Horned Frogs go on to win 73-47. Bush finished with her third double-double of the season, scoring 13 points with 10 rebounds and 2 steals. Kaylin Boyd led the Broncs in scoring with 14 points.
Shooting continues to plague us. Defensively, we didn't do a bad job. It wasn't great.
Here's a look at the WAC non-conference standings. The Broncs still near the top, right behind Grand Canyon and Idaho. The Broncs return home Wednesday at 7 when they host UT Arlington.
UT Arlington will be a handful because they're going to run the zone. Everybody's going to run the zone against us. And until we hit a few shots, we'll see what happens.
If you can't make it to every game but still want to find a way to support the Broncs, donate to the Bronc Athletic Fund today. You can become a member of the BAF for just $50 a year. All of the money raised goes directly to student-athlete scholarships, so visit BroncAthleticFund.com today to see how you can make a meaningful impact on the lives of student-athletes. One way you can donate to the Bronc Athletic Fund is by participating in our 8th annual bait fishing tournament, affectionately known as BAIT, on South Padre Island on April 12th. You can be one of 8 teams to win over $10,000 in cash prizes, including a $4,000 grand prize. There's also a raffle to win a $35,000 boat. Interest piqued? Visit UTPABronx.com/bait for more information. Shortly after concluding last week's episode of Bronc Country, we were saddened to learn about the passing of a good friend of UTPA Athletics. Next on Bronc Country, we remember UTPA team photographer Dutch Cowgil. No one person brought more joy to our student athletes during home events than Dutch Cowgil. His title had been team photographer since November of 2010, but in reality, he had been the memory maker for the UTPA student athletes. On December 10th at 5:35 p.m., Dutch passed away. He was 59. He is survived by his wife, Dana, who resides in Edinburg. The special thing about Dutch is that he never took photos for the money or the marketing aspects. He took the photos so the student athletes would have memories that they could cherish for years to come. He cared so much about our student athletes, and all he ever wanted was a thank you. He was a good photographer and an even better person. I'm proud to have been able to call him my friend. Now, we would like to give our coaches and staff an opportunity to remember Dutch while showing you some of his best work.
On behalf of the Department of Intercollegiate Athletics, we send our deep sympathy to the Cowgil family and his wife Dana. Dutch was an integral part of the UTPA Athletics and believed in our mission and vision of student-athlete success. He was at every event. Even knee surgery couldn't keep him away from the baseball games last spring. On a personal note, he was always very supportive towards me behind the scenes. He never doubted the changes and the growth and always lent a supportive word. In our quest for promoting Bronc Athletics, Dutch was at the forefront of making our initiatives come to life. We will miss his commitment, his support, and his positive demeanor. After every home event over the last 2 years, I had the opportunity to say thank you. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you one last time.
Losing Dutch Cowgil has been a very hard day for me because you described Dutch first class and genuine. He will be missed by UTPA Bronc Athletics. He was a great person.
He was a nice man. You can tell that he really enjoyed what he did. And I think the reason why he enjoyed it so much was because he knew the pleasure and the thrill that he was giving each and every one of our athletes after he took those pictures. And he gave the pictures, or we would give the pictures to our athletes, the joy and the thrill of watching themselves, in particular senior day. He would take the pictures that we would put on the frames with the jersey for our seniors, and I think Dutch was the type of individual that could see and feel the joy that he was bringing to each and every one of our athletes. So we're really going to miss Dutch. He was one of a kind, nice man with very positive and very endearing personality, and we're really going to miss him.
He will be sorely missed. It caught us all off guard. Was a great guy. He's been doing our headshots and taking pictures of our team the entire time I've been here. So, again, it's a great loss for the Bronx and the department as a whole, and our best to his family.
Dutch was a great guy. We loved having him at all of our home events. All the girls really enjoyed seeing him around. He felt like he was a part of our team when he was out there, just because we had seen him so often. He had gotten so comfortable with everyone, and I loved having conversation with him, small talk. Sometimes he relaxed me during our matches when I got a little bit too stressed out about the little things. So it was always nice to see him. Even at some of the other programs' games, having a chance to talk to him was always really pleasant.
Still, deeply shocked and saddened by the news of Dutch's passing. I don't know that it'll truly fully hit until we don't see him on the sidelines at basketball games and baseball games, and then, really the full effect for us in our program next fall when he's not there. But we lost a great man, a great person, and someone who was a huge asset to our program. But that's the least of things there. He was just such a great person that he always, wished you the best, wanted the best, always had a moment to just chat briefly. He was great with my family, and that's something that really hit home over the last 24 hours is, through him and his eyes and his camera, I was able over the last 2.5 years to see my children growing up. Because every time we walked in an arena, whether it was volleyball, baseball, basketball, it didn't matter, that camera popped out and he was shooting pictures of my wife and my kids. And so we kind of went back last night a little bit and went through some of the pictures and saw their progression through, like I said, through his eyes, through the lens of the camera that he always had with him. And that's going to be missed, obviously. But like I said, he was just a top-notch person and someone that this program and this university and this world can't replace.
Student athletes took to Twitter after learning the news. Women's tennis player Regan Greenwood tweets that she was in shock and that Dutch will be greatly missed by everyone. Women's basketball player Kaylin Boyd tweets, "Rest in peace, Mr. Dutch. Amazing guy. It was great always being able to talk to you. You believed in us when we didn't believe in ourselves. You will be missed. Just won't be the same without your face behind that camera. Just can't believe this." Track and Field's Rebecca Rodriguez tweets, "Too many times am I reminded how life is way too short. You never know when you will talk to someone for the last time. Always be kind. Rest in peace, Mr. Dutch. Your kind heart will be missed." Track and Field's Deandra Barroso tweets, "Rest in peace to one of the kindest men I had the privilege of meeting. Who knew Friday would be the last time we would see him taking pictures of us?" Former baseball player Guadalupe Barrera tweets, "May you rest in peace, Dutch. God bless you and your family. Thank you for being such a great photographer, but most importantly, a great friend. God bless." That tweet retweeted by current baseball player Matt Daniels. Volleyball player Macy Singleton tweets, "So sad, brought me to tears. Such a kind and caring man, and he will definitely be missed." Volleyball player Corinne Acuff tweets, "Rest in peace, Dutch Cowgil. I will never forget the encouraging compliments you give me after the games for having such high spirits." And local TV sports reporter Joe Bowling took to Twitter as well, saying Dutch Cowgil was always the first one to walk over and say hi when covering the Vipers and the Broncs. Dutch Cowgil, UTPA Athletics team photographer, friend to many, husband to one, gone at 59.
Madness is calling. The 2014 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. March 12th through the 15th at Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. 16 teams battle through the brackets on their way to the big dance. Be there to see who will go home the big winner.
Ticket packages on sale now at UTPABronx.com. This commercial brought to you by Lax Furniture, an official sponsor of the University of Texas Pan American Intercollegiate Athletics. Here's what's coming up for the Broncs. Women's basketball comes back home for the first time in a month to host UT Arlington, while the men visit SMU. The men then get a good week off from practice, so they can go home while the women head to a tournament in Wichita to face the University of Nebraska-Omaha and then host Wichita State. We want to thank you for stamping your passport in Bronc Country this week. Schedule another visit for next week. But until then, go Broncs!
Madness is calling. The 2014 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. March 12th through the 15th at Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. 16 teams battle through the brackets on their way to the big dance. Be there to see who will go home the big winner.
Ticket packages on sale now at utpabronx.com. This commercial brought to you by Lax Furniture, an official sponsor of the University of Texas Pan American Intercollegiate Athletics.